Josh, everyone needs a bit of backup sometimes.
They sure do.
Han Solo turns up to rescue Luke, King Theoden turns up with all those lads on horses, and famously the Prussians rocked up at Waterloo in the late afternoon to help Wellington beat Napoleon.
All clutch moves.
But what if there's a power cut? What backup will you have then?
Maybe, I don't know, a battery?
Exactly. Today we're going to talk about home battery backup for power cuts, how it all works, the different types, and whether it's actually worth getting. I'm Charlie.
I'm Josh.
Let's go. Home battery backup is a functionality that allows you to keep power flowing when there's a power cut. So when the grid says no, you can have a battery that says yes. If you have solar panels, they automatically disconnect when there is a power cut as a safety measure, and that stops them pushing electricity into the grid when you've got electricians working on the grid, so they're not going to get electrocuted.
That would be bad. However, if you get home battery backup, you'll be able to keep supplying power to your home even during blackouts. All you need to do is get one battery that has home battery backup functionality and get it installed by either your solar installer or an electrician after the fact. They will ask which of 3 levels of home battery backup you want, and we will go into those in a bit. Hang tight.
This is normally associated with solar and battery systems, but you can also get a standalone battery and still get the backup functionality. We've got a funky new background.
So give us a like and subscribe.
Can all batteries provide home backup? No. This is an important point to make. If you want a battery that provides backup power, you need to make sure you choose a model that actually provides that functionality. Most of them do now provide it compared to a few years ago, but crucially, some of them still don't.
Yes, and that wasn't the case even very recently. But as the cost of this feature and batteries in general has fallen, more and more manufacturers have started to offer this function, such as Tesla and Fox ESS, and we are pretty confident that the number will continue to rise in the coming years.
As we previously said, there are 3 different levels of home battery backup. You can choose between single socket, 1 or more circuits, or if you're feeling fancy, your whole home.
It's crucial that you tell your installer if you want home battery backup and what you want it to power. This way they can accurately size your battery, inverter and cables, which is much safer and more convenient for you.
As you might expect, with each higher level of battery backup you choose, it gets more expensive. So the most expensive option is the whole home backup. But regardless of what level you choose, you're gonna need something called an earth rod, or perhaps more impressively known as an earth spike.
Yes, now all households have earthing capabilities, so that if an electrical fault happens, the current flows into the ground instead of into someone, electrocuting them. But unfortunately, in the case of a power cut, earthing capabilities will usually fail as well. Therefore, it's crucial that when you're getting home battery backup, you also get an earth rod.
An installer, or a good installer, will make sure that you can safely fit one of these, an earth rod, before going ahead with the installation process. More on this shortly. Level number 1 is emergency power supply, also known as EPS. This is where you have 1 additional socket fitted that you can plug 1 device into when there's a power cut. For example, you might plug in your phone charger or your Wi-Fi router or a TV while you wait for the electricity to come back on.
Yes, to make this work, the installer will also set up a second new fuse board. So this fuse board will link directly into your inverter and also into the new socket. The new socket and fuse board can both be installed either inside or outside, as long as they're weather resistant, obviously. But they both must be within 5 meters of your battery and inverter.
This is the cheapest level of home battery backup because you can only power 1 device at a time.
Yes, you can always upgrade it at some point to uninterrupted power supply. So you could start with EPS and just see how it goes.
Level number 2 is UPS. No, it's not the postal service, it's uninterrupted power supply, also known as critical circuits backup. And in this case, power will automatically stay on in the event of a blackout. So instead of having to go in and plug a specific device in, it will just keep power running, which is useful if you have things that need to stay on all the time, like vital medical equipment.
This process once again starts with an electrician creating a second new fuse board. They will link that fuse board to your inverter, and then they will connect your chosen circuits to the fuse board. These circuits will stay on constantly, whether there's a power cut or not.
Unsurprisingly, UPS is a bit more expensive than EPS, but if you've got more than 1 device that needs to stay on at all times, this is a better choice for you. At the top of the tower is whole home backup. And this involves an additional piece of hardware called a backup box, which means that you can actually run your entire home with battery power. An installer can set it up so that it will switch to using your battery just within a few seconds of the grid failing.
Pretty impressive. Your installer will position this box near your home's connection to the grid, which is usually either under the stairs, by the front door, or outside in a meter box. If it is outside, that's fine, as battery boxes are usually waterproof.
And then once your backup box detects a power cut, it springs into action, a bit like the Prussians at Waterloo, and it means your home can keep going for as long as your battery lasts. But one important caveat, even with whole home backup, you're not going to be fully shielded from the negative effects of a power cut.
Yes, absolutely. For instance, if your local substation goes down, you still may not be able to use your Wi-Fi. For any level of home battery backup, you'll need to keep some electricity in reserve, just in case the grid goes down and you need to turn to your backup. A good installer will assess your needs, talk them through with you, and then come to an agreement with you about how much electricity you would like to have on hand if the grid goes down.
Your installer will then set a minimum charge level to ensure that you're not in danger of using too much power during the day and then leaving yourself short in the event of a power cut. But if you get home battery backup, obviously your battery is going to need to be larger than it otherwise would have been, so that you can have backup power and still meet your daily needs.
Yes, almost all of the financial benefit of having a battery comes from this day-to-day usage, so your installer should make sure that your battery isn't too small, otherwise your savings will be too. But as a rule of thumb, it's 20% bigger if you're getting EPS, 30% bigger if you're getting UPS, and 40% bigger if you're getting the full home backup.
Your inverter and cables will also need to be larger accordingly, and as always, a good installer will sort all of this out for you. Is your home suitable for home battery backup? Well, it might be. Many homes are. It depends on a bunch of factors. First of all, as we said before, you need to have an earth rod installed.
Yes, you do indeed. If you're lucky enough to have a garden and it's kind of a standard size, that should be fine. However, if it's covered in concrete or a patio, as is often the case with city homes, you may run into trouble. In this case, you'd have to help your installer find a slab nearby that they could take up, and then they could drive the earth rod into that earth.
Another requirement is space. If you're going for a whole home backup, as we said, you're going to have a battery that's 40% larger than it otherwise would need to be. So you need to have space for a big battery along with the backup box. If you don't have the space, it's going to be tricky to get a whole home backup.
But do UK homes even need backup power?
It's a good question.
It is a good question. And the answer is they probably don't. The typical home rarely experiences a power cut, and usually not for very long. In fact, they usually experience 0.4 outages per year for an average of 36 minutes, according to a 2026 Ofgem report.
And the numbers are falling too. The average household experiences 38% fewer power cuts today than it did in 2009-2010, and also the amount of time that households spend without electricity is dropping. It's dropped by 43% over the same period. Additionally, when there is a power cut, you might not even notice it, because lots of these are scheduled and planned to happen in the deepest, darkest depths of nighttime.
Yes, for many people, therefore, home battery backup is an unnecessary expense that will save you for a few hours every decade, and therefore is probably not worth it. In fact, let's delve into an example. Let's take a 3-bedroom household that uses 3,400 kilowatt hours of electricity per year, has a 10 kilowatt hour battery, and saves 30% of that for emergencies.
That would be 3 kilowatt hours of space set aside for backup power. Based on this household's usage, that would last them for about 7 hours and 45 minutes. But given that the average power cut in the UK lasts just 36 minutes, this is more than sufficient for most households.
But if your household has crucial medical equipment, such as a dialysis machine, or if you live in a very remote area and experience frequent power cuts, home battery backup can be a crucial lifesaver for you. Many solar companies will try to upsell you on home battery backup with scary images of your home being plunged into darkness. But now you have all the information to make an informed, data-driven decision.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was home battery backup. If you decide you want it, make sure you tell your installer first, get a battery that actually has the functionality, make sure your battery gets sized accordingly, and make sure your home is suitable so you can get an earth rod and you've got the space for all of it.
At SunSave, we offer the 3 different levels of home battery backup with all of our solar and battery installations.
If you're feeling put off by the high upfront cost of solar, you should consider SunSave Plus, which is the UK's first solar subscription. It means you can switch to solar with no upfront costs and instead make fixed monthly payments for 20 years. Your system will also be backed by the SunSave guarantee, which includes 24/7 monitoring, maintenance, free replacement parts, downtime cover and insurance.
To learn more about SunSave Plus, just click the link below, and for more wonderful videos like this one, please subscribe to our channel.
Goodbye.
Goodbye!